Today in history. May 9th, 1945. 80 years ago today, the guns in Europe fell silent. After nearly 6 years of the most devastating war humanity had ever seen, the Third Reich was dead, and the world, exhausted, grieving, and desperate, finally exhaled. September 1st, 1939. Germany invaded Poland. France and Britain declared war 2 days later. Within months, the continent was engulfed. Millions were drafted, families were torn apart, and the question everyone was afraid to ask was, when does this end? For years, the Allies fought back, inch by inch. D-Day, June 1944, 150,000 troops stormed the beaches of Normandy in the largest seaborne invasion in history. It turned the tide, but the cost was staggering. On April 30th, 1945, with Soviet forces closing in on Berlin from all sides, Adolf Hitler died by suicide in his underground bunker. The man who had launched the world into madness was gone, and with him, the last hope of the Nazi war machine. On May 7th, 1945, Germany signed an unconditional surrender at Reims, France. Across Western Europe and America, May 8th became Victory in Europe Day, V-Day. In the Soviet Union, where it was already past midnight, the victory was marked on May 9th. President Truman announced it to the world. The flags of freedom fly over all Europe. The news broke like thunder. In London, Paris, New York, and Sydney, people poured into the streets. Strangers embraced. Soldiers wept. Church bells rang for the first time in years. It was over. It was actually finally over. And on the streets of Europe that night, beneath the church bells, the dancing crowds, and the victory parades, American soldiers celebrated with something that had followed them through nearly every battlefield of the war: Coca-Cola. But here's something you probably never learn in school. While bullets flew and bombs fell, one American company had already decided it was fighting a war too. Not with weapons, but with something ice-cold, red, and unmistakably familiar. In 1941, Coca-Cola President Robert Woodruff issued a now legendary directive. Every man in uniform gets a bottle of Coca-Cola for 5 cents, wherever he is and whatever it costs the company. And he meant it. General Eisenhower himself sent an urgent telegram to Coca-Cola headquarters in 1943. He requested 10 portable bottling factories and millions of bottles monthly. The general wasn't just asking for morale. He was ordering it like ammunition. Coca-Cola built 64 bottling plants overseas during the war. They sent over 200 civilian employees, dressed in military uniforms, given officer rank, to the front lines. These men were called the Coca-Cola Colonels. 2 of them came home in flag-draped caskets. By the war's end, American soldiers had consumed over 5 billion bottles of Coke. Some soldiers even wrote home saying they were fighting, among other things, for the right to drink Coca-Cola. And then there was Japan. But while Europe celebrated peace, the deadliest chapter of the war was still unfolding in the Pacific. Japan refused to surrender. So in August 1945, the United States made a decision that would haunt history forever. August 6th, Hiroshima. August 9th, Nagasaki. The atomic bombs killed an estimated 200,000 people, most of them civilians. On August 15th, Emperor Hirohito announced Japan's surrender. The war was finally completely over. September 2nd, 1945. Aboard the USS Missouri in Tokyo Bay, Japan signed the formal surrender. World War II was over. 65 million people had died. Cities were ash. And now, what came next would define the entire modern world. The world rebuilt. Soldiers came home, and Coca-Cola, which had followed them to every foxhole, every jungle, every corner of the globe, was now known everywhere. The war that destroyed so much had accidentally made one red and white bottle the most recognized symbol on Earth. So the next time you crack open a cold Coke, remember, somewhere in 1945, a soldier cracked open one too and called it freedom. What moment in history do you think shaped our world the most? Drop it below.